Well, got a little bit of splitting here. I don't know how this is going to be. It's a little bit windy out right now, but if I wait much longer, it's going to start getting dark on me. But that's bucket number 3. And this was about as much as you can put in a pickup truck, minus the saw and the whatnot. So I still got probably another 2 something bucketfuls of wood to go here. This is some of this real fast growing hardwoods. There, you can see that pretty good. But just split one bucket and I go take it up and put it away and come back, and because as the temperatures outside get warmer, I'm having this thing heat up faster and faster. When it was 20 Fahrenheit out, I could go just about an hour before I had to shut it down. But now with it close to 60 degrees out, I can barely make it to a half an hour. So I get the bucket full, and I'd leave the ram out so that would cool the rod, because I need to. Well, maybe you can see that in there. That's suction to the pump, and it's 3/4 out of the tank, and then I got this adapter from 3/4 to 1 inch, because it's 1 inch on the pump intake. And I figure if I get that fixed, that should make a difference. So, but I'm still running off from this one bottle. The manufacturer said it was 9 point something hours on a barbecue bottle, but that's probably running a generator at what they consider full load, and this isn't full load. It's partial load all the time. You're working it, but when it's just going back and forth, that's just partial. You're not at full load on the engine. And I can walk over here, and if I've never told anybody, this is Tinkerbell. It got its own name because it's a mighty little tractor. It's amazing how much that goofy little thing will pick up. And I'll come over here and I'll show that I got another fun project. I had one of the physical links in the chain broke. I don't know where the other piece went. Anyway, it's only 60-year-old tracks or thereabouts. Let's see. Oh, that is the remains. That's the other part that broke. And then the other side didn't actually break. So I got the grease let out and I pushed the ram back. I had to, of course it did this right in the middle of the road, so I had to use the fail-safe and drag it to somewhere where it's at least, not in the middle of the road. Changed. There, that's better. Now you can see Well, that kind of reminds me of it was the film cameras. And they had those little plastic things that held the film in it. It's definitely what that reminds me of. So that'll be another work in progress. I guess it's been here a while. I just haven't had the time to do anything about it. So I figure I've got the older tree over here, and I got the canopy that's anchored to the machine well, and I can use something. If all else, I've got a block, and I can use the skidder, and I can put the block on the tree and have the cable run from the top of the cab down to the tree, and the skidder would be sitting in here, and basically I would be tipping the machine up to the side so that the replacement track can get underneath the darn thing, because it's right on the ground, and I had to drag it here. So in a perfect world, I would get that track, even though that track is completely worn out, or the chains are completely worn out, because these are I've said before, they're a special. They're not normal dozer pads. They're a special pad for the loader model to minimize ground damage. So, but as far as I know, and all of my research, the pads that are held on with 2 bolts are obsolete. They're basically just straight up obsolete. Everybody that makes replacement tracks for the 440s makes it with 4 bolts per pad instead of 2 bolts per pad. So I can't get chains and then take these pads and transfer them onto new chains, because the only reason I would consider trying to fix this chain and use it is because of these special obsolete pads. These chains are so bad that if I laid it out here on the ground, it would almost do a complete circle. It is that bad. It may not be a complete circle, but I know it would at least do over 180-degree turn, which is a phenomenal amount of wear and tear on the chains. That would be, if it was on a job site, that would be completely impractical, because the employees would always be, they're trying to run them, at full steam all the time, and they don't want to have to worry about tracks falling off, so they wouldn't even consider trying to run these things. But we have an identical machine to this one. Only difference is that one's gas powered. That one has the 2-cylinder gas. This one has the 2-cylinder diesel. No, there was one other minor difference. That gas one, it was original with a reverser, and my dad didn't know how to correctly use the reverser, so he used the reverser without using the clutch on the 440s, the 420s, and the older stuff. The ones that are equipped with a reverser, you have to use the clutch. The ones that are a model 1010 and newer have a newer generation of reverser, and their reversers work without using a clutch. And I've looked into the interchangeability, and it's pretty much a no, because the 1010s and all the other 2010s and a gazillions of other models, they all went from 2 cylinders to 4 cylinders. So everything's different. Well, no, the bottom rollers, everybody says the bottom rollers and are the same, and I believe the distance between the pins is slightly different. You can run them, but they're not going to sit in the sprocket. They're not going to sit down in the sprocket, and they're going to wear the spikes out on the sprocket that drives the chains a lot faster than it should. And then, of course, because it's not sitting down in the bottom, it's gonna chew away at these real good too. Yeah, I can see those things are cracking. It's just a matter of time before it breaks again. But with 60 years of wear and tear on it, if I could figure out how to press the right pin out, and if I could come up with another master pin, the tracks have stretched so much over the 60 years, maybe more than 60 years, because I believe it was somewhere around 1960 is when this was made. So there's enough stretch that's happened in the track that you could subtract a link and still put the thing back together. So the other one that I'll be sourcing the tracks from, they're replacement tracks on it, and they are the typical replacements aftermarket with 4 bolts per pad holding them down, and then they're the typical aftermarket with 1, 2, 3 ridges on the pad. So it's still it's definitely still considered street pads. It's just for the loader application, they work, but it's not really necessary. I guess if the winch was functioning on this, that's a Gearmatic number 8, model 8, and it's the hydraulic version. There is a analog that's completely lever operated of the Gearmatic Model 8 that that was made, and then there's a letter designation in the model between the 2 types of winches. The number 9 Gearmatic that is on the skidder is hydraulic only, and then there's the winch we don't have, the Gearmatic 19, and then we got this other machine here, can car skidder, I believe that's what it's called. It has the Gearmatic 119, and that's a lot of winch. That is one very, that's got a 453 453 Detroit in it, so that's got a whole lot more ponies than this other stuff, but it hardly fits down our trails, so, and it consumed gobs and gobs of fuel, so we just more or less took it out of service. Anyway, I just thought I'd show this, and of course, sooner or later here, I'm gonna have to get that thing filled back up with water and get it back in service. Hopefully nobody's stolen the radiator out of the dang thing. That gets really sick. I think in a year and a half we've had 4 different radiators disappear off from the place. I'm not even gonna go there. It just sucks. But anyway, that's my little video. Oh shoot, I'm up to 16 minutes, so this is gonna take all night to upload. So, oh well. I think I'll just call this good here. So, thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.